In 399 BC, the most famous philosopher in Athens was put on trial for corrupting the youth and impiety. He knew he would lose. He had been told he could leave Athens and avoid the whole thing. He refused. He knew the jury would convict him. He refused to appeal to their emotions. He was offered escape after the verdict. He refused again. Socrates was 70 years old when he went to trial. He had spent decades walking the streets of Athens asking powerful men uncomfortable questions. He had never written anything down. Everything we know about him comes from his students, primarily Plato. His method was simple. Find someone who claimed to know something, ask them to explain it, and demonstrate through questioning that they did not actually know what they claimed to know. This made him extraordinarily unpopular with extraordinarily powerful people. The charge of corrupting the youth was political. Athens had recently lost a catastrophic war with Sparta. Several of Socrates' students had been implicated in the subsequent political chaos. The trial was an opportunity for his enemies to remove him. He understood this completely. He went anyway. Plato's account of Socrates' trial, the Apology, is one of the most precise documents about decision-making under existential pressure in the ancient world. Socrates had 3 opportunities to avoid death. Before the trial, he could have left Athens. Friends urged him to. He refused. The city was his life's work. Leaving would have meant abandoning the only place where his method had any meaning. During the trial, he could have appealed to the jury's emotions, wept, brought his family forward, begged. This was standard practice and would likely have worked. He refused. He told the jury that appealing to their emotions would be a form of disrespect to them and to himself. After the verdict, he could have proposed exile as his punishment. The jury would probably have accepted it. He refused. He proposed that Athens give him free meals for life instead, on the grounds that this is what his service to the city was worth. The jury, predictably, chose death. 3 Stoic principles, predating formal Stoicism but foundational to it, ran through every refusal. First, the quality of a life is determined by what you will not do, not just what you will do. Socrates had defined himself entirely by his method. Abandoning it to survive would not have been survival. It would have been the elimination of the thing that made survival worth having. Second, process matters more than outcome. Socrates was not optimizing for the verdict. He was optimizing for the quality of the argument. He believed that a corrupt appeal to emotion, even if it worked, would have been a worse outcome than death with integrity. Third, death is not the worst thing that can happen. The worst thing that can happen is becoming the kind of person who would do anything to avoid it. Most founders face a version of Socrates' trial at some point. Not a literal trial, but a moment where the cost of maintaining their position becomes existential, and the pressure to abandon it becomes overwhelming. The board demands a pivot that guts the original thesis. The key investor threatens to pull funding unless the founder changes direction. The market is moving in a way that makes the original vision look naive. The standard response is to calculate survival first and principle second. Socrates' framework inverts this. It asks a specific question before any of the tactical decisions. What is the thing you would not do even if it cost you everything? Not rhetorically, specifically. Every founder has a version of this. The product decision they would not make regardless of revenue pressure. The partnership they would not take regardless of the capital it would bring. The compromise they would not accept regardless of what it would cost them to refuse. Most founders have never explicitly named this line. They discover it accidentally under pressure when they are least equipped to think clearly about it. Socrates had named his line decades before the trial. That is why he could navigate the trial with complete clarity while everyone around him was confused about why he was not simply saving himself. The practical exercise is precise. Before the next major pressure point arrives, write down the 3 things you would not do regardless of consequence. Not the things you prefer not to do. The things you would not do even if refusal was catastrophic. That list is your actual position. Everything else is negotiable. Socrates was convicted and executed. By every conventional measure, he lost. His method survived him by 2,500 years. The principle: know your line before you need it. The founders who navigate existential pressure with clarity are not the ones with the best tactics. They are the ones who already knew what they would not do. Follow if you want to become unbreakable.